Brian, it's hard to believe, but this is game 24 for the Ducks, which signifies the midway point of the abbreviated season.
Right, and it's been a very disappointing first half for the Mighty Ducks. Keep in mind, however, when you blend inexperience and youth into an NHL roster, sometimes you have to step backwards before you move ahead. I think in the second half, they'll need to focus on the specialty teams. Currently, both the power play and penalty kill sit at or near last in the National Hockey League. They need to make significant improvement in those two areas.
Indeed. Meanwhile, Brian, here's what's on tap during tonight's telecast. Brian will chat with Sean Van Allen. You'll go on the road with the Ducks in Banff, and don't forget we'll queue up another edition of the Mighty Ducks video chalkboard. But the opening face-off is on tap next. You're watching the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim on Prime Sports. Man, Guy Hebert gets the nod tonight for Ron Wilson's Mighty Ducks.
Well, Hebert was outstanding last game in Vancouver, and Ron Wilson has elected to go with the hot hand. You know, in his last 11 games, Guy has posted an impressive 2.66 goals against average. At the other end of the rink, a surprise starter for the Flames, Andrei Trefilov, making only his second start and goal in 59 minutes of play this season. He's posted a 3.05 goals against average, but notice he has not been the goaltender of record in any game so far.
Brian taking a look at tonight's officials. There you see our referee, Terry Gregson. The linesman tonight will be number 88, Mike Civic, and number 39, Mark Wheeler. Ducks and the Calgary Flames squaring off once again. Flames with a commanding 6-1-1 record, and they have also taken the last 5 outings against the Mighty Ducks in head-to-head competition.
And remember also that Anaheim is 1-2-1 all time here at the Olympic Saddle Dome. Scratches for tonight's game. You see a lot of significant injuries. Tom Kurvers, Todd Krieger, Randy Ladouceur, all out of the lineup with injuries. Oleg Tverdovsky is ill, of course. The Calgary Flames, Roberts is gone for the year. Kelly Kissio, however, could be back at any game.
And Brian, the Gatorade faceoff is controlled by David Karpa. Plays it up the far wing boards. Near side backtracking. The Flames play it up the near side. Stern trying to outlet, intercepted by Corkum. Back out at the blue line. Robert Dirk lofts it high in the air. Comes to rest in the far corner. Flames try to work it out the far wing boards. Karpa takes a big bump from Joel Otto, and picking up the loose puck is Gary Ball. Near side, Robert Dirk. He'll give it up to Trent Yanni. He'll wrap it back in deep. Hebert can't control the inlet pass. The Flames will regroup inside their own line. Joel Nieuwendyk, first man to the puck.
You notice the way to start this game that David Karpa hung in at the Flames blue line to put on some pressure. That's one of the things the coaches were trying to get across in all the video sessions. Have those D hanging a little bit longer before they exit the zone.
Ducks force the Flames back inside their line. Player without the stick is Len Esau as Trefilov plays it to an open wing, intercepted by David Williams. Top of the circle, Patrick Karnback. Back of the net, Todd Ewan back in the lineup as Stu Grimson bumps in the near corner. Esau still without the aid of a stick. The Ducks trying to take advantage of that as Patrick Karnback gets tied up in the near corner by Mike Sullivan. 4 players rubbing sweaters. Finally, Terry Gregson will go to the whistle, and we'll get a stoppage in play.
Well, let's take a look at Andrei Trefilov and the book on the youngster from Russia, former teammate of Mikhail Shalenkov with Moscow Dynamo. Plays that butterfly style. Mikhail told me he might be the most acrobatic young man that you will ever see between the pipes, but he tends to run hot and cold.
Let's see if we can pick up some of the heavy hitting in the early going here.
Well, it's David Karpa on Joel Otto right at the Flames blue line. Again, good sign shown by Karpa to hang in there and stand up Otto right at the blue line. That's where Ron Wilson would prefer his defensemen to make their stand.
Long shot it on goal. Trefilov with the save on the initial wrist shot off the stick of David Williams, and Stefan Lebeau is trying to tuck home the rebound.
You might notice this about Andrei Trefilov. Watch the way he reacts to the first shot. He's down on the initial one with the paddle of that goal stick right along the ice. Stefan Lebeau has to recognize that. That second opportunity has to go up and under the bar if you're going to beat Trefilov.
Face off to the left of Trefilov in a scoreless hockey game. Minute 20 seconds into the affair. Here it comes, a fluttering shot off the stick of Paul Kariya. Played free to the near boards by Theo Fleury. Tries to play it outside the line, and quickly counter-punching comes Reichel. Robert Reichel will play it off the back wall, taken down by David Williams. Played to the right point, kept in momentarily by Housley. Good burst of speed by Van Allen on the wing. Follow up by LeBeau. In over the line, LeBeau feeds the deep slot. Kariya shoots. He tattooed the left post. Paul Kariya got Trefilov committed, but he tattooed the left post. Drop pass in over the line, and good recovery on the defense by Mark Berner to fan down and block that shot. How many posts have Paul Kariya get in the last week?
I tell you what, they're really getting some rough luck around the net. The Ducks making a lot of the right moves in tight, but they just can't finish.
Good open ice hit by Mark Berner. Forces the Flames inside the line, offside, and will get a whistle. 2 minutes, 11 seconds into the period.
And here's newcomer Milos Holland, acquired, of course, from the Philadelphia Flyers in exchange for Tony Semenoff. And Chris, he has been very impressive the last couple of days in practice. This guy has got a cannon from the point. It'll be interesting to see if Holland's out there on the power play tonight. You see, he was the Czech Player of the Year back in '92-93. Very skilled offensive defenseman.
You know, Brian, I had a chance to chat with Milos yesterday at the workout in Banff, and he was telling me that he just felt he was caught up in a numbers game in Philadelphia.
One of those situations when one player is on a two-way contract and another player is on a one-way, quite often the guys on the one-way stay up with the big team. The other fellas are sent down to the minor leagues.
Ducks dodge the bullet, but here come the Flames right back in over the line. Kevin Dahl down low, wrist shot and on goal, gloved about waist high by Guy Hebert, and with Paul Cruz on the doorstep, he elects to hold on.
Guy Hebert loses a puck coming off the boards, and it takes kind of a strange bounce at the last minute over the goal stick. He's very fortunate that the Flames were not able to convert. Very unnerving for a goalkeeper to start the game in this fashion. You want to send a message to your teammates that you are at the top of your game and really handle all of those initial pucks and shoot-ins with relative ease. That hasn't happened yet for Guy.
Face off to the left of the Anaheim netminder, controlled by Dirk on the back end of Karpa. Hill outlet far side, Joe Sacco. Outlet pass at the red line, picked off by Zarley Zalapski, and the Flames will just shoot it back inside the line, wash out the icing call. Dirk on the near side gets lined up and stood up by Sheldon Kennedy. Cross-eye speed, Zalapski. Otto will bank it in off the far wall. Aber out to play it, leaves it there for David Karpa. Bank pass to Gary Ball. Hill outlet far side, Sacco. Step on Zalapski, peels to the outside. Now gets stood up at the hash marks. Good follow-up by the back-checking Sheldon Kennedy as Hill tried to quarterback things for the Flames through the neutral zone. Kennedy lofts it high in the air. Hits the base of the backboards, and David Karpa, without the aid of a helmet, comes playing free to the near side to Stu Grimson. Grimson churns up ice. Hill wide, slap shot and on goal, and a save by Trefilov. Grimson on the follow-up, met by the much smaller Phil Housley in the corner. Stu Grimson, originally drafted by the Calgary Flames, gives it up to Theo Fleury, and he counter-punches back inside the zone. Drop pass, far side save. Rebound, lay loose at the base of the circle, and a good play by Todd Ewan to pick up the loose change, but we're going to get a whistle and a penalty coming up here against the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim on Prime Sports.
Well, the ever-dangerous Theo Fleury makes a nice little pass to Paul Cruz, and watch Sandy McCarthy just misses the rebound opportunity. Good effort by Dallas to get to McCarthy.
Dallas interference at 3:48. Power play hockey for the Flames, top of the circle. Robert Dirk battles his man off the puck, but Reichel's free. He shoots, a block out front by David Williams. Hauled down at the right point by Phil Housley, shoveled to the back wall. Centering pass picked off by David Williams and cleared back to the blue line of Calgary.
I think you could categorize that penalty as what a coach would call a very good penalty on the part of Dallas.
You saw the numbers on both the penalty killing and power play units respectively as Phil Housley lugs the mail to the blue line, dishes to Fleury on the far side, looks for a rim-free pass on the near wing boards to Reichel. Housley vacated the point, so he'll have to regroup back out at center ice. Minute 17 remaining on the Dallas penalty. No score from the Saddle Dome in Calgary. Housley on the follow-up. Dishes right side. Reichel in over the line. Drops it off for Fleury. Looking, shooting right on. Saved by Guy Hebert. And Guy fans out on his belly to smother that loose puck. That's the second shot on goal in the game for the Flames.
And And you might notice that the Mighty Duck penalty killing unit are pressuring the Calgary defensemen, including Steve Chason, in the Calgary zone. And what's going to happen is you'll give up the odd man break. Here's the opportunity for the Calgary Flames. Hebert does an excellent job corralling that rebound with the big goaltender's mitt.
Mighty Ducks have stopped only 9 of the last 16 shorthanded situations, Brian.
Right, that's only a 56.3 success ratio, and that is not good enough. You're not going to win games if you can't kill penalties.
Back to the line, Zalapski can't control a bouncing puck. Drifts back inside his own blue line. Duras in hot pursuit. Plays it to the far wing boards. Duras still trying to keep the Flames hemmed inside their own zone. Nothing going there as they outlet on the near wing boards, and blowing in over the line with Sheldon Kennedy. Rims free to the far side. Len Esau. Right point feed intended for Zarli Zalapski. He'll keep the play alive in the corner. Coming out of the corner with the puck is Sheldon Kennedy. Deep slot area. Wrist shot blocked out front by Robert Dirk. He's tied up from behind, and that will free Germán Titov with the loose puck. Zalapski's shot in on goal. Tipped just high off the mark by Vesa Vidakoski. To the far wing boards. Chipping it free is Steve Ruchin to an open corner. Tries to take the return pass and does. He'll clear it, but not out. Along the near wing boards, Robert Dirk takes over. 8 seconds and ticking on the penalty. Back in over the line. Teeing one up and on goal. Big save on Len Esau by Guy Hebert, and the Flames are going to come up empty on their first power play opportunity of the game.
It was an excellent defensive play by David Carp on the 2-on-1 opportunity by Calgary.
Here comes Holland. Fires a shot that caught a body out front. Radosek Musil along the backboard. Gets tied up there. Out of the corner, Trent Yawney. Backhand feed to the blue line. Double team there and ridden off the puck. Paul Correa tries to strip Mike Sullivan. But on the follow-up, Bob Corkham's wrist shot in on goal is played aside by Andrei Trepilov. Correa tries to go around his man, and we're going to get a hook here, Brian. Looks like Sean Van Allen is going to be the guilty party, and the Flames will benefit with their second consecutive power play opportunity.
Sean Van Allen was just trying to interfere a little bit with Trent Yawney so that Paul Correa could get to that loose puck. You see him apply the hook under the armpit of Yawney. He goes down. Gregson has got to make that call. It's not a good penalty for Sean Van Allen to take.
6 minutes, 18 seconds into a scoreless first period. Chris Mansell alongside Brian Hayward live from the Saddle Dome in Calgary, Alberta. Faceoff will take place just outside the blue line near dot. 4-man penalty killing unit on for Ron Wilson's Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Ruchin up front with Peter Duras. You'll have Dulles and Williams manning the points as a quick shot at on goal is steered aside by Trepilov. Housley moving straight ahead. Tries to outlet. Good coverage by Steve Ruchin. As the Flames hemmed inside their own zone. Nifty lateral move. Housley springs his man Reichel on the fly. Drifts to the outside base of the circle. Shooting right on. Left pad save. Rebound. Hebert will smother as Theo Fleury was ready to pounce on the loose puck.
On Sunday, April 2nd, when the Mighty Ducks host the San Jose Sharks at the Arrowhead Pond, each guest in attendance will receive a free Mighty Ducks duck mask, courtesy of the Orange County Register. Limited tickets are still available at the Arrowhead Pond box office and Ticketmaster locations. It's Duck Mask Day on April the 2nd, courtesy of the Orange County Register.
Bob Dulles, one of the 4-man penalty killing units, still on for Ron Wilson's Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. He's out there with David Williams back up front, Sacco and Patrick Carnback. Top of the circle to the line. Right point. Housley shot it on goal, saved by Guy Hebert. Corralled by Joe Sacco, and he'll spank it past the point.
Some good poise shown by David Williams in front of that net. He really looked off the Calgary offensive players and able to slip that puck to Sacco so that they clear the zone easily.
Partial breakaway, but Reichel waits for players to get back up into the flow. Peels to the boards with a man on him. Dulles trying to take the body, as is Patrick Carnback. Is out of the corner. Joe Nieuwendyk has trouble staying on his feet. Met there by Bobby Dulles. He'll play it to the hash marks. Carnback can't clear the line. Housley, top of the circle. Reichel, he has room. Fakes a shot, feeds far side. Controlling the pass. Reichel takes the return feed from Steve Chason. Out of the corner, Theo Fleury. 45 seconds to go on the man advantage. Deep slot area, long shot was blocked out front. Is trying to get off a snapshot there was Chason. Good recovery by Fleury near side of Housley. Cross-ice pass, caught a body, bounds high in the air. Ducks take over, and Joe Sacco will just shoot it up ice.
And terrific patience shown by the penalty-killing unit. They don't give the Calgary Flames any of those seam passes into the slot area. Keep that puck on the perimeter.
12:05 to go in the first period. 22 seconds on the penalty. The number 22, Sean Van Allen. As out of the corner, coming up with the puck, David Carpa gets drilled to the backboards. Flames take over, deep slot. Housley, a little nonchalant, paid the price. Will have to regroup inside his own blue line. There is only 7 seconds remaining on the power play opportunity for Calgary. Housley, ever smooth at the circle. Deals to the right side, Germán Titov moves to the circle, speeds a shot down low that caught a body, and out of the corner, cycling back to an open puck is Vesa Vidikowski. Centering pass, sticked aside by Hebert. Loose puck picked off by Titov. He'll rim it to the backboard. Centering feed out front. Here comes Steph LeBeau, 3-on-2 if he hurries. Left side feed, Van Allen. He's got Correa open on the far side. There's the pass, and here it comes. The return feed, they score! What a pass! Correa to Stephan LeBeau. And this line, Correa, LeBeau, and Van Allen remains on fire after a big kill. The Ducks are on the board.
Well, they throw that puck around so well. Watch as the Flames almost get the opportunity out in front. That's Joe Nieuwendyk, and the Ducks break away on the 3-on-2. Sean Van Allen brings the puck wide, then pulls it into the middle. But watch Correa feather this pass through right on the stick of LeBeau, and he just redirects right up into the top corner. What a pretty goal by the Anaheim Mighty Ducks.
I'm not quite certain if Steph actually touched that puck, Brian. It looks like perhaps the Ducks got a big break on the Correa pass towards the net. Well, but they'll take it. It's a liner in the box score. But look out here. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Back the other way. Otto makes a shot. Feeds down low, but under lead was Ronnie Stern. And out of the corner, LeBeau tries to cover Stern there. Draping Stern along the backboard. Milos Holland watches as the shot goes flaring wide of the net along the backboards. Stood up there was, along the backboards, Paul Cruz stood up there as the Ducks try to regroup inside their own zone. Long shift for Paul Correa and company. Is it rims free to the near wall, and Otto rubs his man out in the corner. Ducks play it outside the line. Foot race to the loose puck. Zalapski first man there. Back out at center ice. It's shot at deep by Cruz. Off the backboards. Controlling is Bobby Dulles. Ruchin to the loose puck. Looks for an outlet pass. On the left wall, Peter Duras will play it to the backboards. Trefilov rims it free to the far side. Follow-up, David Williams takes the big bump from Kevin Dahl. Cycling out of the corner, Ruchin gets stood up by Trent Yoni. Coming away with a loose puck and controlling for the Calgary Flames. Frank Musial will headman the pass to Sandy McCarty. Now brought in over the line. They're going to get an offside whistle here, and we'll pause for a moment. The Mighty Ducks of Anaheim are on the board, and they lead in this hockey game 1-0. You're watching the NHL.
Stephan LeBeau was credited with that goal. He's got a nice little streak going. 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points in his last 10 games. So LeBeau is really starting to light it up.
Stephan LeBeau from Paul Correa and Sean Van Allen at 8:43 of the period. Flames regroup back out at center ice. Housley backpedaling while looking up. Dishes straight up ice. Fleury's touch pass near boards. Picked off by Dulles and played outside the playing surface.
The diamond in the rough for the Mighty Ducks scouting staff. Steve Ruchin, All-Canadian University player last season, the only supplemental draft choice playing in the National Hockey League this year. He's a guy, looks like he's going to be a good one. You just can't find too many centermen who are 6'5" and have a soft pair of hands.
Steve recorded his 4th point of the season in Vancouver when he assisted on the Correa goal. Face-off at center ice controlled by Gary Volk, who also potted his first of the year. And along the backboards, controlling the Flames, try to shoot it out on the right wing, and here comes Fleury on the fly to Reichel. Stood up over the line, good second effort, comes away with the loose puck, feeds down low, right on save, loose puck at the post, and look at that pileup. A huge scrum out in front of goaltender Guy Hebert, but it appeared as though the puck was clearly outside the post, and as you can see, Terry Gregson is looking on intently.
Oh, there's got to be a piling on penalty going on right there in the crease. Watch the move by Reichel. He manages to skirt by Robert Dirk, and then watch the delay, and he puts it on goal. Hebert just loses sight of the puck, and look at it roll towards the goalpost.
Look at David Carpa kneeling on
8 players piled up in the crease. Look at this. What a shot from our camera up top. the Flames come so close. They get a couple of whacks at it, but just can't put it home. There you see the puck, folks. It's not in the net.
Can you believe there's a player clad in white underneath that mass of purple? It was Theo Fleury.
Well, that doesn't surprise me somehow.
Face off to the left of Guy Hebert. Hebert has indeed been hot as of late. Coming into tonight's action, he had stopped 306 of the last 331 shots he faced for an impressive .924 save percentage. Face-off controlled in on goal, and Hebert will just exchange to Carpa back of his own net. Sacco on the right wing. Turns to the red line. Fires it in, rims the board. Good follow-up by Corkum to kick it ahead. In the far corner, double team. Sacco gives it up to Theo Fleury at the line. Carpa takes over. Wrist shot, bounds off the backboards. Comes to rest on top of the net. Picked off there by Gary Volk. Sacco gets stood up along the backboards by Theo Fleury. Couple of 14s going down there. Is in the far corner. Once again, players trying to muck it up for the loose puck. Giving it up to the line. Here's a long shot on goal. Carpa's blast almost escaped Trefilov and was trickling towards the post. But Trefilov was able to recover in time.
Trefilov looks a little shaky in the nets right now. He mishandled that Carpa shot.
So we'll step out for a moment. You're watching the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim on Prime Sports. Chris Manson and Brian Hayward back at the Saddle Dome Live. Play collected in the neutral zone and played to the far side by McCarty. Near side, players try to botch up along the far wing boards, and coming away with the loose puck 1-on-4 is Karnbach to Grimson, base of the circle. He feeds out front. Ewan tried to kick it towards the net, and Trefilov had the paddle down. He'll smother.
Confidence-wise, it is so important for the Mighty Ducks to score the first goal in a hockey game. In fact, when they have scored the first goal, they are 3-1-1 in this regular season, so they got to be happy right now.
We remind you, fans, Mighty Ducks hockey is being brought to you in part by Cold Clean Original Cores. It tastes different because it's made different. And by the Toyota dealers of Southern California. See your Toyota dealer today, and you'll be sold. Paul Correa, the difference in this hockey game thus far is he set up Stefan LeBeau on a terrific diagonal feed. Correa, Brian, has now put together a 4-game scoring streak himself.
And Paul Correa has been moved on to the Stefan LeBeau line along with Sean Van Allen because Todd Krieger is out of the lineup with a groin injury. But you can see how productive these three players have been in the last little while, and they continue their fine play already in tonight's game.
Incredible stats as LeBeau gets ready to center for Van Allen and Paul Correa. And we remind you that Sean Van Allen will be Brian Hayward's between-period guest a little bit later on in tonight's telecast. Face-off to the right of Andre Trefilov, 1-0 hockey game. The Mighty Ducks of Anaheim on top. LeBeau, his 5th of the year. Draw, played to the backboards by Nieuwendyk. Good play by Van Allen to come out of the pack with the loose puck to the line. Long shot it on goal. Misplayed by Trefilov, and it almost trickled past him. Trefilov very unsure of himself with the glove hand thus far this evening. Good play off the back wall. Here's LeBeau to Correa. He scored! Stefan LeBeau spotted a wide open Paul Correa off the right post, and the magic continues at the Saddle Dome.
Wait till you see this play behind the net by Stefan LeBeau. He's going to use the back of the net to give himself a pass, and he'll walk right around Zarli Zalapski. Sean Van Allen does the grunt work in the corner, and he gets the puck to LeBeau. But watch this. He banks it off the net, creates the 2-on-1 out in front, and this time he returns the favor, sets up Paul Correa.
Paul Correa, his 2nd point of the night, likewise for Stefan LeBeau, and Steph LeBeau now has 13 points in his last 11 games.
You know, Trefilov is very shaky in the Calgary net, and right now on the Anaheim bench, the guys are all talking about that. They really can feed off of it. It gives them a lot more confidence.
7:25 to go in the opening period, 2-0, as we'll take another look.
What a terrific play by LeBeau. Just to use that net, he makes a pass to himself and just slips it across to Correa. Beautiful play.
Paul Correa continues to produce against the Calgary Flames. Correa came into tonight's action with a goal and an assist for 2 points in 2 previous outings against Calgary. Already has a pair of points here tonight. Face-off to the right of Andre Trefilov with 7:25 on the clock. Theo Fleury on the draw against Steve Ruchin. Check out this matchup. Fleury stands 5'6", 160. Ruchin 6'3", 210. Base of the circle, controlling. Spinning away to the far side and trying to avoid one man, a Steve Chason. He'll drop it off to the back wall, Phil Housley. Left side pass intercepted at center ice by David Carpa, and Carpa will shoot it back in deep. Bank pass near side. Theo Fleury drops it off on the fly. Ronnie Stern and over the line. Stern drifts to the outside. Whistles a wrist shot and on goal. Stick to side. Here it comes, a blast. And did you see that glove hand save by Guy Hebert in traffic? Chason unleashed a rocket, and nonchalantly Hebert gloved it.
Well, he made it look pretty easy, did it? Just like a can of corn for Guy Hebert. Watch how he gets up, gets in good position at the top of the goal crease. And if the goalkeeper is not screened on that shot, it is going to be a routine save.
Guy Hebert, a terrific start to this hockey game for him and his Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. He has turned aside all 10 shots the Flames have thrown at him thus far. Face off to his right. Theo Fleury on the draw against Bobby Corkum. In the corner, Milos Holland tries to tie up his man in the far wing. Coming over to help out Bobby Corkum, it's Phil Housley picking up the loose puck out of the corner. Spinorama on Sacco, top of the circle, wrist shot it on goal. And wait, we are going to get I believe, a penalty. And look out here, Milos Holland took a big right hand from behind from Sheldon Kennedy, and now a huge breakage is broken out along the near wing boards. Sheldon Kennedy just came in and clocked Holland. There was a battle going on in the far corner, and obviously something developed there. But Sheldon Kennedy is being restrained right now by the linesman, and let's see how Terry Gregson will dole out the penalties.
Well, Gregson was originally going to call a high sticking penalty against someone. Maybe it was against Milos Holland, I'm not sure. Judging by the reaction of Sheldon Kennedy, you have to believe that something was going on, but it's going to be very interesting to see how Gregson sorts this out.
Somewhere in the back of Milos Holland's mind right now, he's trying to become an accepted member of the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Just joined the club in the last few days, and it says a lot when a guy like Mark Ferner comes to his aid immediately.
It certainly does. Well, here's how it starts. Here's play in the corner, and you see Housley got a little dipsy doodle move right now. I don't really see any kind of infraction. Maybe that was the high stick right there. Sheldon Kennedy might have been called for the initial high sticking penalty as well.
Well, as you can tell, Gregson is talking things over with Theo Fleury. But on the clock, they are showing that the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim will come up with a 2-minute advantage. Brian?
Fans enter Southwest Airlines Shark Hunt #2. Win a trip for two to see the Ducks and the Sharks on March 23rd in San Jose. Prize includes round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and game tickets for two, courtesy of Southwest Airlines. Send a postcard with your name, address, and daytime phone number to the Mighty Ducks. Southwest Airlines Shark Hunt #2, P.O. Box 3370, Anaheim, California 92803. Flying the low-fare airline is just plain smart.
So as we try to sort out the penalties, we can tell you this much: it's power play and hockey for the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim as the Flames regroup back inside their own zone. Brett Yanni will shoot at the length of the ice. Hebert can't control the inlet pass. Fleury burst of speed to the loose puck, forces Dallas to give it up to Correa far side. Return pass to Dallas, read by Big Joe Otto. He ties up Dallas along the backboards, and Correa comes away with the loose puck in traffic. Deals to the left side, Milos Holland. Right side pass, try to home run feed to Steph LeBeau. They're going to pay with an icing call here against the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim.
Stefan LeBeau already on fire in this hockey game. You can just see him brimming with confidence out there, and he has developed a very close relationship both on and off the ice with Paul Correa. And I know that those two players will be very excited to be playing with one another.
And those two players, Brian, are why there has been a marked improvement on the Mighty Ducks power play as of late. This is their first opportunity of the night, and the Ducks have scored on 4 of the last 15 power play opportunities they have had, a 26.7% success ratio.
And the interesting thing is that both of those guys are known as passers. And Ron Wilson has been able to get the message across that you have to shoot the puck, fellas, if you're going to score some goals.
Along the backboards, Ducks control. Dallas tries to hand pass a play up the near wing boards. It's picked off by Mike Sullivan. And Sullivan will leave it off in the corner. Germont Titov has the Ducks hemmed in their own corner. Milos Holland is able to spring LeBeau to Dallas. Back to Milos Holland along the backboards. 1 minute remains on the penalty to Kennedy. Straight ahead movement. Holland drops it off for Dallas. Cross-ice pass. Van Allen has Correa bursting through the defense. Gives it up to Titov as he tried to hit Stefan LeBeau, who is stepping in over the line.
I really like the way Coach Wilson has handled Milos Holland in his first game in a Mighty Ducks uniform. He hasn't put him out on the ice to kill penalties. He's put him out only in even strength situations, and here for the first time on the power play.
Brought in over the line by Sacco, triple team. Joe Otto tries to pull it on the forehand and does. Good hold by David Karpa, but just momentarily. Follow up by Otto, 25 seconds to go on the man advantage. Pulling his man down from behind is Gary Volk. No penalty called. I think the Ducks may have gotten away with one there. As pulling it in on the wing was Joe Sacco. Drops it off for Corkum. Base of the circle, top of the circle. Sacco tries to break free to the loose puck. Flames take over inside the zone. Feed Ronnie Stern. Good pitch and hold by David Williams, but Bob Corkum plays it back to Karpa. Williams steps up, shoots it in. On goal. Sticked aside by Andrei Trepalov. Penalty is over. Teams are back at full strength. In the neutral zone, Ruchin doing a good job of forechecking, forcing Kevin Dahl back deep inside his own blue line. Duras and Fleury battle along the near wing boards. Looking on, Terry Gregson will go to the whistle as the players tie it up in the neutral zone. The Ducks on top on Prime Sports.
A little promotion going on here at the Saddle Dome tonight. $25 off the Mighty Duck replica jerseys. Pretty good deal.
Oh boy, Shelley Gartner's cringing back home right now. At the blue line, Sandy McCarthy gets stood up by Peter Duras, spins away from a check, deals to an open left wing. Nobody home but David Karpa. Karpa will outlet to Ruchin. He'll loft it in diagonally. Burst of speed to the puck. Duras beaten there by Steve Chason. Left side feed met by Ruchin. Ducks regroup in the neutral zone. Robert Dirk will just flip it in end over end. 3 minutes, 57 seconds to go in a very productive first period for the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. They lead 2-0 on goals by Stefan LeBeau and Paul Correa. You can wash out the icing call. Milos Holland in control. Left side feed. Valeri Karpov. Karpov turns to the red line. At the blue line, met by a three-man stack. He'll play it in deep. Andrei Trepalov there to leave it for Phil Housley. Housley met by Karnback at open ice. Weaves around him from the left wing. He tries to headman the puck to Joe Nieuwendyk. Intercepted by Mark Berner. Wholesale player changes for the Calgary Flames. Stu Grimson at center ice. On the backhand, will just shovel one to the blue line. Nieuwendyk plays it back to Grimson in the neutral zone. Bob Dulles inside his own blue line. Shuffle pass to Patrick Karnback, picked up by Grimson and shot deep inside the blue line of Calgary.
This has been a pretty good line for the Mighty Ducks in this first period. Todd Ewan, who's been held out of the lineup for the last 3 games, gets back into a game alongside Stu Grimson. It's a big, powerful line, and they've been able to forecheck very successfully so far.
Zalapsky deals on the left wing, moves in over the line with authority, tries to hit the deep slot area trailer, but there to pick off the pass was the back-checking Todd Ewan. Ewan in his 403rd NHL game will shoot it wide of the net. Cutting back to get it, Len Esau, left side feed, Fleury, picked off by Robert Dirk in the neutral zone. 2.5 minutes to go in the opening period. Outlet left side, nobody home. Foot race to the loose puck. Dirk better hurry because bearing down on him is Germán Titov. He'll touch and take the icing call against the Calgary Flames. So the Mighty Ducks will pick up good ice position.
You really get the sense that the Calgary Flames are very frustrated at this point. Getting a lot of criticism here in Calgary. Their last trip they went 1-3-1. That is not acceptable in this city. I couldn't believe the report card ratings in the paper here for a team that leads the division. One of the guys who got a great rating was German Titov. +8 leads the team, and he has scored points in 11 games so far. So Titov is producing in over 40% of the hockey games he's played in.
Deep slot area, Korea's wrist shot caught by the body of goaltender Andrei Trepalov. David Karpa threw his hands up in the air. I think Karpa thought that Korea had the goaltender beat, but Trepalov came way out of the net to challenge.
Well, here's that face-off formation where David Williams slides up and lets Paul Correa move back to the point. That allows Correa to be the guy who's going to take the shot if the face-off is won. Excellent strategy by the Mighty Ducks.
Correa and Dirk on the points. LeBeau played into the corner. Chason comes away with the loose puck. Puck bounced high in the air, batted outside the playing surface, and we're going to get a whistle and a stoppage in play once again with about 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the opening period.
Another one of the newcomers on the Mighty Duck defensive line, and that is David Karpa. You see, acquired from Quebec for a conditional pick in 1997. All kinds of questions about the health of Karpa. He's got some back trouble. He's got a broken navicular bone in his wrist. But he says he can play, and he's been impressive so far in the first period tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, David Carper's been impressed with the Mighty Ducks organization. Talking to him yesterday at the practice, he told me, what other organization would have a limo waiting for you when you get off the plane? Just inside the blue line. Brought back outside the zone and now deep inside Anaheim territory. Nieuwendyk tries to deal down low, caught the skate of Robert Dirk. Carpa ties his man up in the corner, tries to get the whistle, but cycling back to the loose puck, Guillermo Titov. Titov looking for help. 4 players rub sweaters in the near corner. Now to the backboard. Good effort by David Carpa to come up with the loose puck, and he'll just shoot it outside the playing surface. And Carpa took a late hit from Guillermo Titov, and he wasn't too pleased with that exchange. And as you could tell, players are going to separate and make their way to the respective benches.
Well, he was a little bit fortunate here because as he releases the puck, in comes Titov, and it looks like a pretty clean check. The little glove wash to the face of Titov. Sometimes the referees will call that retaliation, and I think that David Carpa was a little bit fortunate. You always have to wonder when you're playing on the road, you expect sometimes that the calls will not always go your way.
Titov at 29 years of age. Last year entered this league as what would have been termed a rookie, but because of his age, the league did not really recognize him as such. So Titov now in his second season.
Right, they recognize him as a rookie, but he would not be eligible for the Calder Trophy.
Shot blocked out front. Turnaround snapshot blocked at the defense by Bobby Corkum, who stayed back to help out. In the corner, sticks come up. Sheldon Kennedy takes a two-handed whack at Bobby Dulles. Minute 14 and ticking in the period. Played to the far side. Control along the far wing boards by Frank Musial. Rim spree to Trent Yawney, who pinches and holds the right point. Here it comes, a shot and on goal. Ronnie Stern teed it up. And there was goaltender Guy Hebert to glove it home.
Terry Gregson is letting an awful lot go out there on the ice. Sheldon Kennedy continues to run around with a glove in the face. Here's that last point shot coming in. Guy Hebert does an excellent job holding on to the rebound because Kennedy was right on the doorstep. Here's a guy, Ronnie Stern, a lot of people say might be the only player in the National Hockey League to post more goals and assists in this season than he did last season in a full 84-game schedule.
And Stern set career highs last year with 9 goals and 20 assists for 29 points, but he already has 8 goals thus far this season. In the corner, Andrei Trepilov rims the dasher, picked up, chop shot it on goal, and Trepilov quickly scampered back into his own crease to get back into position and make the save on the trailer, Gary Volk.
But again, he shows his inexperience. The goalkeeper should not shoot the puck around the boards hard when he's out and behind the goal line unless he's sure that his player is going to be there to receive the pass. And Gary Volk almost buried that last opportunity. Gary Volk got his first goal the other night, and the huge weight was lifted off the shoulders of Gary Volk. You could just see the smile on his face. Much different person walking around the hotel room. He was really starting to squeeze that stick pretty tight.
Volk led the Mighty Ducks in game-winning goals last year with 5. He looks on, face-off deep inside the zone. 44 seconds and ticking in the period. Fleury breaks out of the pack. Long shot and on goal. Stick to side. Back rebound. Flames control on the backboards. Stripped from behind. David Carpa cannot clear the line. Turnaround blast by Reichel. Sails high over top of the crossbar. In the near corner. Carpa looks for help at the line. Shot in on goal by Kevin Dahl. Stick to side by Guy Hebert. He appeared to be a bit handcuffed on the play. Puck squirts outside the playing surface. 20.4 seconds remain in the period.
Zarli Zalapski, a very mobile defenseman for the Calgary Flames. Originally, Zalapski was the first defenseman taken in the 1986 entry draft. The Pittsburgh Penguins took him with their first choice, 4th overall in that draft. He's a beautiful skater to watch out there. He really is.
Zalapski in his 7th NHL season. Had a brief stint with the Hartford Whalers, and then, of course, came over to the Calgary Flames. First full season with the Flames this year. Face-off to the right of goaltender Guy Hebert. 2-0 hockey game. Ducks on top. Dallas, near side feed. Red at the right point. Kept in. Chase on chops it out. That's brought out by Bobby Corkum on the fly. 10 seconds to go in the period. He'll loft it in the air. Comes the rest of the corner. Burst his speed to the puck. Ball beaten there by Chason. 5 seconds to go in the opening period. Dirk throws out a check on the far wing boards. Fleury will take over as time expires, Brian, here in the opening period.
Terrific first period for the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. It all started with the success of the penalty killing unit, who was out there early on from the first 5 minutes of this hockey game. They got the job done, and the confidence really carried over to the rest of the club.
Indeed. Goals by LeBeau and Correa have been the difference in the hockey game. And coming up, we'll take you to Banff. And, of course, Brian Hayward will visit with Sean Van Allen. That's coming up on Prime Sports. 8:43 to open the scoring in the hockey game. LeBeau will pick up an assist, as did Sean Van Allen. And then on the Correa, what would now be the second goal, his 10th of the season, LeBeau gets the assist, as does Sean Van Allen. So our between-period guest, Sean Van Allen, picks up points number 16 and 17 on the season as the Mighty Ducks peer over the boards and get set for the second period face-off to start the second 20 minutes of play here at the Saddle Dome.
Well, here's the all-time leading scorer against the Calgary Flames for the Mighty Ducks, and that's Gary Valk. Posted 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points in 7 games against the Flames during his Duck career.
Gatorade face-off controlled by the Flames along the near wing boards. Played back out through center ice and deep to the far corner. Robert Dirk takes the bump from behind, following up to the loose puck. Far wing boards. Ronnie Stern gets stood up there. Ducks cycle back to the loose puck with David Carpet doing battle on the far wing boards with Sheldon Kennedy. Backhand shot, caught a body. Rebound, far circle, picked up by Valk, looks for help up front. He'll turn to the red line. At the blue line, Corkum steps up and feeds Joe Sacco. He had it cocked and ready to release, but they were ruled offside.
Assistant captain Bobby Corkum, one of the wide body forwards on the Mighty Ducks. Remember, it's Corkum that usually draws the top defensive assignment game in and game out. Excellent two-way player. He's having a little bit of difficulty getting untracked as well, Chris, offensively.
Corkum, of course, the all-time leading point getter in Mighty Ducks history. Came into this game with just 2 points lifetime against the Flames. We had a goal and an assist. Face-off back out at center ice. Patrick Carnback with Todd Ewan and Stu Grimson up front. Back you'll find Williams and Dalton.
I always find it interesting to see what line the home team starts to start a game, and you can see that Dave King sent a message to his players right off the bat. A very physical first shift for the Calgary Flames, and here goes Sandy McCarthy and Big Stu.
Well, they are exchanging rock solid right hands like Rock'em Sock'em robots out at center ice. You can see the linesmen in this case, Mark Wheeler and Mike Civic, just standing to the outside waiting for one of the 2 players to get the upper hand. But they are coming with overhand rights and uppercuts, and Stu Grimson has the helmet knocked off his head, and now Stu's got some work ahead of him here. As you can see, McCarthy getting that right hand free. Stu hitting the top of the helmet, and down goes Grimson in a heap with McCarthy on top of him.
Well, I think you'd have to call that scrap pretty even. 2 big boys throwing bombs. I tell you what, both guys are heavyweights here in the National Hockey League, and Sandy McCarthy, who's gaining quite a reputation here in Calgary, drew Big Stu, and I think he fought him to a draw, and I think that's another feather in the cap of McCarthy.
So you see McCarthy taking a seat in the penalty box across from us here at the Saddle Dome, as he and Grimson landed some huge right hands during that exchange. Hey fans, we remind you Mighty Ducks Hockey is being brought to you in part by the Gatorade Company, who reminds you if you're not standing on the sidelines, you're going to get thirsty. Life is a sport. Drink it up. By Amtrak, with over 500 destinations nationwide for you to choose from. And by Pennzoil, the motor oil that works like liquid ball bearings. Back to live action at the Saddle Dome. David Williams will shoot it in deep. Played free to the far side. Valk gets bumped from behind on a hit by Kevin Dull. Picking up the loose puck. Trying to spray it free on the near side. Paul Cruz looks on as David Williams pinches and holds the right point. Cruz comes back to the loose puck. Both McCarthy and Grimson get the gate for fighting. 5 minutes apiece at the 34-second mark. Todd Ewan tried to shoot one in the direction of Andre Trefilov. Tries to follow up out of the corner with help from Patrick Carnback. Ducks in the midst of changes at the points. Poland and Ferner now back on the right and left side respectively. Right side feed, Housley beaten to the puck by Ferner. Outlet pass, here comes Carnback. 2-on-1, he'll wind, slap shot, safe, back rebound, and Todd Ewan was tied up on the play from behind by Kevin Dahl. On the left wing, stepping aside, trying to avoid a check was Paul Cruz from the on-rushing Carnback. And over the line, Theo Fleury tries to step right around Sean Van Allen. He'll go to the body. Correa looks for help. Ferner drifts back to a loose puck in the far corner. Drops it off for Korea. Back to Ferner. Players rub sweaters along the backboards. Drifting into the fray was Mike Sullivan. As alongside the net, Guy Hebert looks on as Milas Holland tries to cover the right post.
One thing, or two things actually, that you can see that the Flames are making a conscious effort to do in this second period, and that is pick up the physical part of their game, number one, and number two, their defensemen seem to be getting a lot more actively involved in the offense. Look for Housley and Chason to be up in the play for the rest of this game.
A lot more hitting in the trenches going on, Brian, as well, along the backboards and both wing boards as Milos Holland looks for help. Home run pass, nobody home, misses the semicircle, arm goes up, and back to touch it was Len Esau, and will get a icing call here against the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim.
This Len Esau is kind of an interesting story. Originally picked up off of waivers from the by the Edmonton Oilers from the Calgary Flames back in February, and then the Edmonton Oilers put him back on waivers, and the Flames reclaimed him. So obviously he's a guy that Dave King hated to lose on waivers and perhaps did not expect to lose on waivers, and when he had the opportunity, he wanted him back on the roster.
So Esau makes his first appearance of the season tonight in a Calgary Flames uniform. Chop shot by Housley. Caught a man in position between the circles, and now the Ducks' Valeri Karpov strains to catch up to a loose puck.
Esau must have some pretty interesting stories to tell, because the Flames and the Oilers are bitter rivals in the Pacific Division.
Played to the far side. Peter Duras steps up, tries to rattle an inlet shot that caught the back of the leg of the linesman, Mike Civic. You could tell Civic very slow in getting up as he tries to shake off the effects of that shot. Back the other way, Ruchin drops it off in the middle. Housley comes back to a loose puck. Wide open along the boards. Vesavitikoski gives it up to David Karpa. And back the other way, churns Peter Duras around a check. Goes down in a heap, but is able to get off a pass. Follow up in the corner with Ruchin. Robert Reichel has all kinds of room out of the right offensive corner. And Vesavitikoski tries to outlet to Theo Fleury. Bobby Dollar steps up. Rattles a long shot in diagonally. Wholesale player changes for Ron Wilson's Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. 16:30 to go, second period. 2-0. Mighty Ducks on top of the Calgary Flames. Fleury, nice touch pass in on goal and able to get a stick on it and redirected towards goaltender Guy Hebert was Robert Reichel, but Hebert was equal to the task.
Not only can Theo Fleury score goals, he makes some dandy passes as well. Look at that one onto the tape of Robert Reichel. Good save by the goaltender Hebert. Quick reaction with the glove hand. You see how great Hebert has been in his last 11 games.
And that shot was the first of the period thus far for the Flames. Took him 4:35 to muster that as it's brought in over the line. Offsides, Joe Sacco well and ahead of the play with David Williams quarterbacking.
Big Joel Otto, the classic defensive centerman in the National Hockey League, perhaps. You know, for a long time you saw every team talking about Joel Otto, and they said, we got to find ourselves a big 6'4" centerman who can play defense like Joel Otto. It's always interesting to me to watch how Otto takes those face-offs, because he crouches right over there. He gets his head right in over top of the face-off dot. It's very difficult for the opposing centerman to even get a look at that dot to try and get his stick on the puck and pull it back. It's one of the reasons why Otto is so successful on face-offs.
Otto, the current longest-serving Flames player, joined the Calgary Flames in March of 1985. Turning back to the puck, Dulles gives it up far side. Jamming on the brakes was Trent Yawney, and Yawney doles out an elbow in the direction of Gary Vaughan, and once again tempers Flair inside the blue line of Anaheim.
Well, frustration setting in with the Calgary Flames, no question about that. And I know that Ron Wilson has probably got a little grin on his face right now over on the Mighty Duck bench, because it's exactly the way the Ducks want to play this game. Calgary has been under heavy scrutiny here at home. You see the little cheap shot by Yanni with the elbow. And again, good discipline shown by Gary Valk not to retaliate.
Mighty Ducks sporting a 2-0 advantage, Brian.
And fans, the Coca-Cola Classic NHL Future Stars program is back. Youngsters ages 7 to 15 can enter to win a spot in a one-day hockey clinic to be held on April 15th at the Arrowhead Pond. Visit a participating Food for Less warehouse store before March 17th and enter to win at the Coca-Cola Classic NHL Future Stars display. No purchase necessary.
Germont Titov tied up from behind by Mark Verner. Gets stood up along the backboard. Stepping into the play as well was Joe Nieuwendyk trying to help out. Squirts free right point. Here it comes, a blast and on goal from Len Esau. Sticked aside by Hebert. Follow up in the deep slot area. Sullivan back to the net to Nieuwendyk. Tried to throw it between the rings. Flames take over along the left wing boards. Zalapski to Nieuwendyk. Looking for a cutter in the slot area. Power move to the inside. Nieuwendyk on the follow-up. Chop deck, base of the circle. We're going to get a penalty coming up here as alongside the net, Milos Holland was doing battle with Germán Titov, and Holland's going to get the gate here. 15-11 to go in the second period. Ducks on top.
And it was a battle for position going on right off the front of the goalkeeper's crease. You could see that Holland had one arm holding onto the arm of Titov. Titov felt the pressure from behind and fell backwards, and Gregson made the call. You know, it was a good job by Titov because actually Titov was holding on to Holland's stick. Very smart play by German Titov to draw the foul.
So the faceoff will take place to the right of goaltender Guy Hebert in a 2-0 hockey game. Power play hockey once again for the Calgary Flames. Flames have come up empty thus far on the man advantage. Conducting the faceoff will be Mark Wheeler. To the line, Chason drifts to the heart of the blue line, fires a shot and on goal save. Back rebound hauled down by Gary Ball. On the backhand, he cannot clear the point. Kept into Housley, right point. Drifts to the top of the circle, chops it down low. Sweet pass through the slot area. Comes free to Chason. Theo Fleury slows things up just a little bit, waiting for the Flames to get back into motion. Long shot and on goal by Chason. Sticked aside by Guy Hebert and cleared outside the zone by Gary Volk.
And the Ducks will sacrifice that point shot from Chason all night long, because when he releases the shot, there are no Flame players blocking the vision of Guy Hebert. It's a pretty easy save for the goaltender, and he allows him the time to handle the rebound.
Players stack the right wing as Housley fakes the shot, feeds Chason. Wrist shot down low, picked off by Peter Durst. Read the play beautifully as he had Robert Reichel well covered.
Calgary is very much a puck movement type of power play unit. And for the Ducks to make sure that they protect those seams in the slot area, they can force them to take those perimeter shots. They're really doing a terrific job.
Theron Fleury inside the line, gives it up to Steve Ruch, and he'll quickly peel to the bench. 4 fresh bodies on for Ron Wilson's penalty killing unit. Dulles back with Karpa. Van Allen and Sacco up front. Flames infiltrate the zone. Zalapski drops pass, and there's a big save by Guy Hebert. Hebert flat on his back as the Ducks break back short-handed. Van Allen with Sacco hooked from behind. We're going to get a penalty coming up here as Trefilov sticks aside the wrist shot by Sean Van Allen. Good hustle by Joe Sacco away from the puck. Forces Germán Titov to take the penalty.
And Joe Sacco had a step on Titov, and it would have been a clear-cut 2-on-1 opportunity. It's a call that the official Gregson has got to make. See, Titov is going to be back-checking in this next sequence. There he is in the middle of your screen. He's got the stick into the midsection of Joe Sacco. And again, Sacco, once he feels the pressure of that stick blade, well, then that encourages him to fall to his knees, and he draws the penalty.
Believe it or not, Brian, the Flames have been victimized more often than they have scored in 4-on-4 situations. They have scored 3 times, but have given up 4.
That's really surprising, given the fact that they've got Steve Chason back there with Phil Housley, 2 extremely mobile defensemen.
Flames 0 for 3 on the night on the power play. 4-on-4 hockey for the next 30 seconds. Then an abbreviated 1-minute 30-second advantage for the Ducks. Karpa tees one in on goal. Blocker saved by Trefilov. Played to Zalapski along the back wall. Return feed, Zalapski far side. Fleury in motion on the wing, gives it up to David Karpa back at the blue line of Anaheim. Drifting back, he has a wide open Robert Dirk on the far side. Near side, Sacco, first to speed in over the line, blows right around. Zalapski crashes the net, and Sacco along the backboards, I don't think realizes that the puck lay beneath him. No, they're going to rule that it was underneath the body of the goaltender instead, and they're going to whistle the play dead.
This is what Joe Sacco has to do more often, and that is use his tremendous speed to break around outside the defenseman. Lately, he hasn't been playing with a lot of confidence, and he doesn't trust himself, and he pulls up at the hash marks and then peels backwards. Sacco, every time he gets that puck, should just go wide and cut in late to the front of the goal, because he will beat most defensemen in the National Hockey League.
Sacco takes a seat as Van Allen and Correa and LeBeau climb over the boards in a 4-on-4 situation. So the only true defenseman out on the ice for the Ducks right now is the man with the puck, Bobby Dulles. In hot pursuit. Tries to spin away from Sullivan. Gives up the puck in the corner. Drifting back to the play. Sean Van Allen comes up with the loose change. Drops it off for Dulles. He's got Correa straight ahead. Paul Kariya. Cross-ice pass to Sean Van Allen. He's met there by Mike Sullivan. Ducks regroup inside their own zone. Milos Holland out of the box. Mighty Ducks power play for the next minute, 6 seconds and ticking. Brought it over the line, Van Allen. Drifting to the top of the circle. Deep slot pass picked off by Joe Otto. There with help from Mike Sullivan, the Calgary Flames will clear the zone.
Ron Wilson is going to love the way Holland just entered the Calgary zone. It's been a while since you've seen a Mighty Duck defenseman carry that puck and look off a couple of defenders at the same time, and that's exactly what Holland did.
Brought back inside his own zone. Sheldon Kennedy has a wide open Kevin Dahl on the far side. Ronnie Stern will steer it towards the net. Guy Hebert, you saw him stick the left arm out. Directs traffic to Stefan LeBeau, who takes a big bump out of the corner. LeBeau is shaken up. Stefan LeBeau. Oh, he gets hit again. Brought it over the line by Ronnie Stern. Stefan LeBeau is trying to make his way to the Mighty Ducks bench, and he gingerly skates over, and he's going to be greeted there by Blin Dinero.
Well, LeBeau took a big hit in the corner, and I think he still was victimized a little bit by the cobwebs. A couple of hits on Kariya as well. The Flames have picked up the tempo, but here's LeBeau. You see he's almost out on his feet, and then he gets nailed again. Boy, pretty tough shift for Stefan LeBeau.
Blin Dinero still tending to Stefan LeBeau. LeBeau thus far this evening with a couple of assists. Both Kariya goals, helpers to LeBeau.
You might have caught the little box in the hand of Blin Dinero. Those are the smelling salts that Blin is reaching for, and he'll whiff that under the nose of LeBeau and try and bring him around.
Inside 20 seconds to go on the man advantage. 2-0. Mighty Ducks of Anaheim on top. Chris Matson alongside Brian Hayward at the Saddle Dome as Mark Ferner plays it up the near wing boards. Volk looks on, looks for the outlet pass from Williams. Left wing feed, Corkum. Diagonal inlet pass. Red at the defense as Ronnie Stern tries to sweep it outside the zone. Penalty is over. Teams are back at full strength. Fresh out of the penalty box. Guillermo Titov has to step on David Williams, but Williams had the momentum as the Flames keep it alive inside the blue line of Anaheim. Mark Ferner along the backboards. Spanks it to an open left wing. Kept in by Dahl, who fires a shot in on goal, and there was Guy Hebert to stick it aside. Back in the neutral zone. Backhand feed, Sacco. One-on-one with chase on. Slap shot saved by Trefilov. Spectacular glove hand save by Andrei Trefilov as Sacco unleashed a rocket. Back of his own net, Steve Chason. 20 shots on goal in the game for the Flames. 16 for the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Both goals belong to Paul Kariya. 2-0 Anaheim. Here comes Karpov's outlet pass, caught a skate. Along the backboard, Paul Cruz gets stood up with David Karpa doing battle along the backboard. Karpa tries to spin away from a check as a centering feed gets picked off by the rookie Steve Ruchin. He'll counter punch to the blue line. Inlet pass to Duras. Back to Ruchin. Backhand shot. He scores! He scores! Steve Ruchin. His second NHL goal and his second against the Calgary Flames. It's a 3-0 Anaheim lead.
Well, what a terrific little give-and-go move by Steve Ruchin. Watches the Ducks break out of their zone. He's going to first dish it off to Peter Duras. You saw Phil Housley just stumble for a second, but watch the way that Ruchin gives the puck to Duras, and then he quickly drives to the front of the net. Duras puts it right on the tape, and he buries it. Outstanding goal by the Ducks' big forward, Steve Ruchin.
Yes, indeed. Wild Wing magic happening here at the Olympic Saddle Dome as lightning is struck 3 times in the same spot. Kariya with a pair of goals, and now Steve Ruchin, his second NHL goal, both against the Calgary Flames, and that's going to be all for Trefilov as on a relief comes their Iron Man, Trevor Kidd.
Well, Trefilov did look shaky at times in this hockey game. I mean, even that last glove save that looked like an outstanding save, he made it look a lot more difficult than it should have been. So Trevor Kidd, the guy who's played in every single game so far for the Calgary Flames, does not get a rest as expected. He's back between the pipes.
So Steve Ruchin gets the goal from Duras. Time of the goal coming, 9:24 into the second period. 3-0 Mighty Ducks of Anaheim face off back at center ice. Guard back with Grimson and Ewan up front. Dallas and Williams back for the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Chase on near side. Housley, his defensive mate, feeds the right wing on the fly. McCarthy looks for help. Nieuwendyke's left wing pass connects with Chase on. He'll rattle it in deep. Along the far wing boards, Housley gets stood up by Grimson. Base of the circle. Grimson tries to vie for possession. Housley takes it back. Cranks a shot that caught a body out front. Rebound out front as Dulles tries to shake off the effects of that blast. In the corner, the Flames come up with a loose puck, but away from the play. Joe Nieuwendyk tripped up Patrick Karnback, and another power play awaits.
Take a look on the left side of your screen as Joe Nieuwendyk is going to reach out, sweep the feet out from under Patrick Karnback. Gregson makes the call, and Joe Nieuwendyk will spend the next 2 minutes in the penalty box.
Nieuwendyk for tripping. 9:57 into the second period. 3-0 Ducks on top. Players settling back into position. There you see the numbers on the power play for both clubs. The Ducks still looking for that first shot on goal on the man advantage. This is their third attempt of the night. Backpedaling at his own blue line. Zarley Zalapski will just crank it up ice, and Guy Hebert will leave it back in his own net to Milos Holon. Met by Germán Titov. Correa takes an elbow from Theo Fleury out of the corner. Cycles back to a loose puck. Holon. Outlets to Van Allen. Back to the near side. Holon in over the line. Chops a wrist shot in on goal. That's the first shot on goal that Trevor Kidd has had to face in this hockey game. Loose puck squirts free. Left offensive corner. Mark Berner finds a wide open Stéphane Lebeau. Back to the net. Van Allen. Back to Lebeau. Out of the corner. Lebeau looking for a cutter in the slot. Everyone's on the perimeter as Lebeau tries to work the give and go. Posts up back up at the Calgary net. Paul Correa. Right offensive corner. Deep slot area pass. Holland did everything he could to try to keep the play alive.
When Van Allen gets that puck behind the net, they've got to have a few guys busting down low, making their way to the front of that crease. Down low, there's the centering feed out front, swept aside by Kevin Dahl. Picked up by Otto, but he can't play it out. Correa winds, fakes a shot, moves down low to Lebeau, looks for the return pass and takes it. Top of the circle, 45 seconds to go on the power play. Correa with Dahl manning the point. Deep slot Dulles. Touch pass Holland. Wide slap shot. Nobody home as it carries free along the near wall. Correa does a good job of catching up to the loose puck, but he did so with a stick above the shoulder so you can bring the puck back outside of Calgary territory. You can see that Paul Correa is a little bit frustrated right now, and I'm sure when he gets to the bench, you see him already talking to Ron Wilson and discussing what's going on with Sean Van Allen. Anytime that Correa is out there with Lebeau, those two players don't have the physical size to spend any amount of time in front of the crease. So Van Allen has to get the job down in front. But when Van Allen does get the puck behind the net, it is up to Correa and Lebeau to make their way to the front of the crease. They cannot always rely on those tic-tac passing plays to score on the power play. David Karpa with Dulles back. Up front, Volk, Corkum, and Sacco in motion. Four-man penalty killing unit still on for David King's Calgary Flames. Along the backboards, good hustle there by Sheldon Kennedy. Out of the corner, chewing precious seconds off the clock. He'll take a huge bump from David Karpa along the backboard. Speared Karpa in the knee, no penalty called. 8 seconds to go on the man advantage. Back out at center ice, Volk steps up over the line. Volk left wing feed. Dulles tries the return pass down low to Corkum. Fanning out defensively and able to smother that loose puck was Trent Yawney, and we'll get a whistle as time expires on the penalty, and we're back at full strength when we return on Prime Sports. You get a look at Andrei Trefilov at the Calgary bench. Towel draped around his neck and shaking his head. Not a good start for Trefilov. It's very difficult, though, when Trevor Kidd is started 24 of the 26 Calgary games. It's hard for those backup goaltenders to get in any kind of a rhythm. And you saw that tonight. That's why one of the reasons why Trefilov was so shaky. And for Trefilov, in the 2 games he started, he's never finished. Only lasted 41 minutes in a game against the Chicago Blackhawks back out of March the 7th. And here tonight gives way to Trevor Kidd, who is no stranger to the Mighty Ducks as well. On the backboards, Robert Dirk stepped into by Steve Chason. Ruchin tries to outlet, picked off. Here it comes, the shot through traffic. You saw Guy Hebert watch the deflection sail over his left shoulder. Out of the corner, Robert Weichel stood up there by Ruchin. Cycling to the loose puck, Ronnie Stern tries to shield the puck with his body. Wraparound attempt, drifted right through the crease area. Chason steps up from the left point. Punches it to the backboard. Dirk tries to steer it outside of harm's way and does. He's going to take the icing call here
Drifting back to touch is Phil Housley, and we'll get a whistle with 7:05 to go, second period.
The Mighty Ducks in the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim present the ultimate in sports seating. See the Ducks, Clippers, soccer, roller hockey, and other sporting events. Sports package seats include waiter and waitress service, arena club membership, and much more. For more information, call 714-704-2786. Well, here is the leader of the Calgary Flames this year. 16 goals already. That ranks him third in the National Hockey League. Against the Mighty Ducks, Theo Fleury has been able to get behind them. I think he's had about 5 or 6 breakaways in the 2 games against Anaheim. Tonight, however, the Duck defense are doing a good job being aware of exactly where Theo Fleury is on the ice.
Theo Fleury tries to deal from his own blue line. There's the pass on the wing, stepping in over the line. Look out! Joe Nieuwendyk went colliding into lines, but Mike Civic was bumped off the puck in the process, and the Flames regroup back at their own blue line.
Boy, Civic's having himself a tough game. He took that shot in the leg earlier.
Between the rings, follow-up play. Esau moves to the outside, trips the shot at the base of the circle. Look out! They go crashing the net. Mark Berner tries to cover Theo Fleury. Flames back with the loose puck. Zarley Zalapski spanks it to Fleury, back of the net. Wide open out front is Bitakoski, but good follow-up by Corkum, but a weak clearing attempt has the Flames back in business in the deep slot area. Failing to hold the play was Len Esau, and the Flames, a very tired bunch, make their way to the bench. Home run pass intended for Stu Grimson. Back to touch and controlling there was Mike Sullivan, and we'll get a whistle, another icing call against the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim with 5:55 to go, second period.
Well, as Mike Sullivan looks on, the Flames have to be shaking their heads a little bit because they were buzzing all around the Anaheim Mighty Duck net, but you have to give credit to the Ducks defense. They just do a good job of tying up sticks in front of the net. They don't allow the Calgary Flames to get a clear shot at anything. Saw Theo Fleury breaking in there at the last minute and diving into the goal crease. He certainly has a lot of courage, that young fella.
Guy Hebert is kicked aside, all 21 shots on goal thrown at him by the Flames.
Look at Joe Nieuwendyk run into big Mike Civic. Civic is 6'5". It's almost more difficult to get out of the way of Mike Civic than it is to go around him.
Along the backboards, David Karpa with a man in hot pursuit. Tries to shed Guermont Titov, given up at the line. Sullivan double teams Correa along with Robert Reichel. Follow up to Robert Dirk. He'll loft it in end over end. Kidd on the exchange. Swipe pass to the far wing boards. Guermont Titov comes away with a loose puck. Wide open on the wing. Sullivan flips it out to center ice at the circle. Karpa will shoot it in deep. Sticked aside by Kidd. Leaves it back in his own net to Trent Yawning. 5:25 to go, second period. 3-0 Ducks. If you're just joining us, a pair of goals by Paul Curry in the first period. Another by rookie Steve Rugin here in the second. Reichel wide. His shot was just off the mark. He had Guy Hebert fully extended, but it was well wide on the left post.
And a good job by Robert Dirk to close on Reichel and force him to shoot from well off to the side. That is a shot that he knows his goaltender will handle.
Back inside the line, Phil Housley gives it off on a wing. Peter Duras intercepts, gives it right back to Guermont Titov. He cranks a shot just off the mark. Big follow-up to Housley on the far side. His slap shot caught a body, bounced high in the air. He'll have to regroup at center ice. Nice move by Duras to the outside. Peter Duras looks, shoots just off the mark. His Kidd waved at it. Comes free in the near corner, and Karpov takes a big bump. It's a centering feed to Rugin, is rejected point blank by Trevor Kidd. Rugin was able to free himself from the defense for a grade A opportunity. Housley along the backboards, glances up at the clock. 4:20 to go, second period. Top of the circle ball, drop pass Corkum, wrist shot just off the mark. Kidd's down on his wallet, gets right back up and back into the crease.
Flames are real sloppy right now in the defensive zone. All kinds of dangerous turnovers, some great opportunities for the Ducks. Calgary very fortunate that Anaheim did not add to their lead.
Patrick Karnback, second effort, burst of speed to the puck. Giving way, Chason tries to rim it on the right wing. There's the pass on the fly. A collision course between Stern and Ferner. Back of the red line. Left wing feed. Drop pass it over the line. Corkum's got Karnback looking, shooting just off the mark. Holden covers the right point. Throws it in off the body of Gregson. Here's Corkum again. Wrist shot in on goal. Save as you see Patrick Karnback unattended out front. He gets drilled from behind as he tried to steer it past goaltender Trevor Kidd.
Well, the Ducks are buzzing all around the Calgary net. Valeri Karpov gets control of the puck behind. He throws it right out in front. Sean Van Allen gets a grade A opportunity against Trevor Kidd. Kidd just beats him.
Along the far wing boards, Theo Fleury met by a couple of Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Drifting back to the loose puck is Kevin Dahl. Dahl, base of the circle. Left side feed. Vesa Vidakovsky can't control the loose puck. Shot back in by Dave Karpa. Zarley Zalapsky takes the exchange from Trevor Kidd. Back of the blue line of Anaheim. Karpa with a man in hot pursuit. Bank pass to Robert Dirk, far side. He'll feed an open right wing. There to pick up the loose change, Zarley Zalapsky. Inside 3 minutes to go, second period. Left side feed, caught a body in the neutral zone. Stefan LeBeau met by 3 Calgary Flames. Can't step around his man Theo Fleury. Nieuwendyk deals to the far side. Kevin Dahl will step up, and he'll just chip it in deep. Oh, and did you see that hip check by Robert Dirk as he lifted Dahl right off his skates and deposited him on the ice? What a terrific hip check doled out by Robert Dirk.
You just don't often see the open ice hip check anymore, but look at Robert Dirk as he drops the shoulder and Kevin Dahl rolls right over the top. That is pretty to watch. Textbook execution by Robert Dirk.
Think that'll make the top 5 hits of the week?
No doubt about it. That is just tremendous.
There you see Robert Dirk with an impressive performance against the Vancouver Canucks in a losing effort. Karnback back out at center ice to take the draw against Robert Reichel in a 3-0 hockey game favoring the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Players looking all over. They're trying to find the loose puck, but it was shot inside the bench of the Calgary Flames, and that caught Trefilov flush, and he is now being attended to by Jim Bearcat Murray.
Well, it was one of the few pucks that hit Andrei Trefilov in tonight's game. Todd Ewan, as I mentioned, has been kept out of the lineup. You can see that Bearcat Murray is over there giving Trefilov a tap on the back. He took that shot full in the shoulder on the Calgary bench.
Bobby Dallas, Williams open to his right as well as Ewan. Player in motion is Karnback. Drifts to the left side. Deals to Williams on an open wing. Todd Ewan at center ice tries to steer it ahead of Patrick Karnback. He's met by Trent Yawney inside the zone. Face wash. Yawney on Karnback is taking over. Robert Reichel deals on the right wing. Cuts to the middle of the ice. Nice move around Karnback to the checkered red. Now to the blue line of Anaheim. Right wing feed. Look down low. There's the pass. McCarthy tried to throw it out front. Flames were crashing the net, and 2-on-2. The Mighty Ducks break back. Patrick Karnback in over the line. Drop pass. Here it comes. They score! David Williams one time. The drop pass from Patrick Karnback. And the Mighty Ducks are on the board for the 4th time tonight.
Well, you might be able to hear the boo birds in the background, and if I'm Dave King, I'm very concerned right now because this is a 4-on-2 break for Anaheim. There is no back-checking effort whatsoever going on behalf of the Calgary Flames. Nice little drop pass by Karnback, and David Williams just steps into the one-timer and buries it. It's a perfect shot, about 1.5 feet off the ice, right off the post. Great shot by David Williams.
David Williams pots his 2nd goal of the season. 4-0 Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Goal coming at 8 minutes, 16 seconds of the period. Along the far wing boards. Down low, Nieuwendyk. Stood up by Ferner. Coming away with the loose puck, Ronnie Stern. Draped to the backboards by Steve Ruchin. Turning away with the loose puck, Valeri Karpov. He'll loft it in end over end. 3 goals given up by Andrei Trefilov. That one tagged against goaltender Trevor Kidd. Along the backboards, Duras gets help from Ruchin. He'll cycle it down low to Valeri Karpov. Karpov tries to do the spinorama on Chason. His centering pass is intercepted, and quickly the Flames turn back inside a minute to go, 2nd period. In over the line, Sheldon Kennedy. Drop pass to Stern, base of the circle. Tried to get off a wrist shot. Swatted out of midair by the Ducks' David Karpa. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Stepping up over the line, Karpov with Ruchin, still looking. There's the pass. They score! What a pass! Karpov to Ruchin. They made it look so easy. And with 41.6 seconds to go, 2nd period, 5-0 Mighty Ducks of Anaheim.
It's the offensive juggernaut that the Mighty Ducks have turned into. Watch this terrific aerial pass by Karpov. He puts it right on the tape. Nice little redirection by Ruchin as well, but what a pass by Valery Karpov. Trevor Kidd cannot slide across quickly enough to cover the short side, and Ruchin converts his second goal in tonight's game.
Ruchin with his second goal tonight, his third in the NHL. All have come against the Calgary Flames, and the Ducks will try to protect a 5-0 lead as time winds down on the second period. Gary Vaughn steps into Zarley Zalapski. Players bump in the far corner. Bobby Corkum met by Theo Fleury. Give it up to Robert Dirk. Dirk will just play it off the plexiglass. Rims the dasher inside 20 seconds to go in the period. At the point, Corkum gives it up to Vesa Vidakovsky. In the neutral zone, Germán Titov met by Robert Dirk. Inside 9 seconds to go in the period. Back of his own net. Players bump. Len Esow taking off the puck. Turning away at the loose puck. Vidakovsky will run out of time as the Ducks extend their lead 5-0.
Well, finally, the Mighty Ducks are able to produce offensively. They've been snake bit around the net for so long. They're coming in waves tonight, and they are putting them home. It's a great thing to see for the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim.
Well, you won't want to miss our between periods lineup, because during our intermission, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll run another edition of the Mighty Ducks video chalkboard, and Brian and I will have highlights and analysis. You're watching the NHL.
Head punt.
Bob Corkum gets set for the face-off at center ice to start the final 20 minutes of play here at the Saddle Dome. Gatorade face-off controlled off the draw by Calgary's Trent Yawney. Backpedaling inside his own zone. He's got Corkum in a hot pursuit. Both clubs at full strength. The Sacco steps up and fires a shot that just about beheaded Trevor Kidd. He ducked out of the way, and churning back comes Ronnie Stern. Stern relegated to the outside, jams on the brace, looks to pop a shot towards D.A. Barron, does. Caught a body out front. David Karpa is able to play it past the right point, and drifting back to get it will be Trent Yawney.
You might notice the Calgary defense is pitching in. They will continue to do that at every opportunity.
Trent Yawney steps up over the line, jams on the brakes, wrist shot blocked by Bobby Dulles. Nobody's open on either side. Dulles is met by 3 Calgary Flames. Good work by Dulles, as he'll just chop it in deep with Mike Sullivan draped all over him. Todd Ewan, who has seen a regular shift here tonight, vying for possession along the far wing boards. Hand pass allowed inside the defensive zone. Stu Grimson will give it up in the neutral zone to David Williams. Williams with 1 of 5 Mighty Duck goals on the night. Zarley Zalapski giving way to Len Esow. Sidesteps a check. Moves out on the left side. Players in motion. Pass at the checkered red. Chopped away at the blue line by Dulles. Mike Sullivan will play it back inside his own zone. We're a minute 15 into this third period. 5-0 Ducks. Mark Ferner's outlet pass almost caught Len Esow drifting to the bench. Had it done so, they could have probably been tagged with too many men on the ice, but we're going to get an icing call instead against the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim.
And I'm sure that Ron Wilson has told his players, fellas, we have to keep those shifts very short in this third period. Let's keep fresh legs rolling over the boards, and there's no way we will get ourselves into trouble.
Ron Wilson looking on, second-year head coach of the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, comes in with an overall mark of 39 wins, 61 losses, and 7 ties, and 1+ season behind the bench. Face off to the left of Guy Hebert, as Hebert waits for Sean Van Allen to drift into position on the draw, and it squirts between both men at the point, and Kidd will come out to play it.
And I guess the best news is, Chris, that we got to go back to Banff.
Yeah, best investment, huh? Here comes Housley. Shovel pass at the blue line. Met by Milos Holden. Follow up by Steph LeBeau, far side. He'll chop it back out to center ice. Paul Correa, who has 2 already in the game, tries to blow around Phil Housley, but Housley will just nonchalantly play it to an open man on the wing, and Robert Reichel will loft it in end over end. So, Brian, as the puck leaves the surface, you have to wonder who's hot and who's not these days in the Pacific Division. And let's see how teams have stacked up in their last 5.
Well, you see Calgary Flames, as I mentioned, they've been under a lot of pressure right here in Calgary, especially in the media. You can see in their last 5 games, they have not performed up to standards. And the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, obviously, they have put their best game on the ice tonight in a long, long time.
Ducks with 2 in the first period, 3 more in the second period. We're just over 2 minutes deep into this third period. 5-0 Ducks on top. At the line, Robert Dirk will chop it to the back wall. Trent Yanni, met in the corner by Steve Ruchin. Ruchin gets stood up there as Valeri Karpov tries to spin away from the oncoming Frank Musial. Players battling alongside Trevor Kidd's net. Kidd will finally swat it to an open Kevin Dahl. On the wing, Sandy McCarthy throws a brick into the skates of Peter Duras, and back out at center ice, the Ducks regroup. Karpov steps up, fires it in diagonal. Wholesale player changes for Ron Wilson's Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Here comes Trent Yanni, lugging the mail to the red line. He'll fire it in, rims the board. Hebert out to play it. McCarthy bearing down as Hebert plays it to an open right wing. Good coverage as Zarley Zalapski covers plenty of ice to keep the play alive inside the zone. Sweep shot in on goal, stick to side. Hebert, Zalapski again. Flutters a wrist shot as Hebert sticks it to the back wall. Along the backboard, centering feet out front, deflected at the defense. Follow up Zalapski from the right point. Drops it off where Dallas is able to intercept. Stern steps up, keeps the play alive. Power move to the inside, met by Dallas. Stern on the wraparound, and a save by Guy Hebert. You saw David Williams come to Hebert's aid as he rubs Sheldon Kennedy off the puck. You're watching Mighty Ducks hockey on Prime Sports. Chicago Blackhawks. Ducks on top 5-0 in this one. Face off to the left of Guy Hebert at the dot, controlled by Milos Holland. Holland steps up on the left wing. Flutter pass on the fly. Here comes ball. Partial breakaway. Takes a shot in on goal. And Trevor Kidd is able to stick it, hold it, and he'll take the draw to his right.
Terrific little pass again by Milos Holland. We knew that he had some offensive abilities, but he managed to find Gary Valk in behind Zarley Zalapski. See what Zalapski's doing there? That's kind of lazy hockey. When you get that stick out into the midsection, you just hook the guy rather than keeping your feet moving and trying to skate with him. Zarley Zalapski is one of the best skaters in the National Hockey League, but when a team gets into trouble or they get into a funk like the Calgary Flames are in tonight's game, you see a lot of that from very important components of a team, and you're seeing that from Zarley Zalapski as well as a number of his teammates.
Draw controlled off the top by Ronnie Stern. One-handed swipe along the backboards. Connects there with Len Esau. He waits for players to come into motion. Fakes to one side, deals to the opposite. Right side feed, Joe Otto can't control the pass at the blue line. Milos Holland will just bank it off the glass, and the Mighty Ducks appear evident that they would like to see the Flames work for every inch of ice they get. Brought in over the line. Far side, Sheldon Kennedy stood up by Holland. Along the backboard, players go careening into one another, and out of the far corner, Todd Ewan can't clear the left point. Len Esau. He gets stood up by Ewan. Deep slot, Zalapski wide, slap shot, caught a body out front, tipped it on goal, and Guy Hebert was able to stick that aside. Karnback with Ewan 2-on-2. Patrick Karnback weaves it over the line. He has room, shooting right on, and a save by Trevor Kidd as Todd Ewan was drifting through the semicircle.
Todd Ewan was running the interference in front of goaltender Trevor Kidd. Turned Patrick Karnback's harmless-looking shot into a very difficult save.
Back at the blue line, Housley deals to the left wing. Jamming on the brakes, Mike Sullivan. We're going to get a whistle. It's obviously against the Calgary Flames, I would think, because Sullivan clearly had possession of the puck. And quickly, Terry Gregson went over to the penalty box, and now players are trying to sort things out. In fact, a couple of Flames are coming on to talk with Terry Gregson.
Well, here's that last save by Guy Hebert. You see the Calgary Flames jamming up the front of the net. Sheldon Kennedy right there, but he's in too tight to Guy Hebert. And here's the last shot by Patrick Karnback. Uses the Calgary defenseman effectively as a screen, and Trevor Kidd makes a pretty darn good save.
Well, as Guy Hebert collects his thoughts inside the Anaheim crease, you see that he's made 24 saves. Ronnie Stern is going to take a seat in the penalty box.
Ronnie Stern was jawing with referee Terry Gregson. I'm not sure what the call was. I don't know if it's a bench minor or too many men on the ice, but it is not going to help the Calgary Flames cause.
Ron Wilson barking out words of encouragement to his troops as, again, Terry Gregson comes over to the referee's circle. And I don't think the Flames are going to win this argument. You see Stefan LeBeau and company, they're waiting for a face-off just outside the blue line of Anaheim, but someone's going to get the heave-ho here, Brian.
Well, it's Ronnie Stern. Gregson said, I have heard enough. And he just decided that that was going to be all he could put up with from Ronnie Stern. Very undisciplined penalty by Ronnie Stern, and that will not put him in the coach's good books.
Well, Stern leads the Flames in penalty minutes. He entered tonight's action with 61. but he's also coming off a hat-trick performance against Dallas, so he'll be sorely missed. We'll await the official word on the penalties, but regardless, it's power play hockey for the Mighty Ducks once again. There you see the numbers on the 0 for 3 advantage thus far tonight, as the Ducks try to regroup and set up shop in the neutral zone. Paul Kariya swipes a pass in deep. Flutters along the back wall. Trevor Kidd steers it free to an open wing. Pitching and holding, Milos Holland does a terrific job of kicking it free at the hash marks. 5 players converging on the loose puck. Mucking it up along the far wing boards. Gregson lose sight of the puck. And we'll get a whistle and a stoppage in play. 1:32 to go on the Stern penalty.
We were talking a little bit about Milos Holland and the shot that this kid has from the point. He's only 23 years old, keep in mind. He is an offensive specialist, and he might be the guy that will one day run this Anaheim power play unit. And I could not believe the shot. Mikhail Shalenkov was telling me the first time that Milos took a shot on him, and it was in the morning skate in Vancouver. He goes, I have not seen a shot like that in my life.
Incredible. Well, Holland can certainly dish it up, but I'll tell you, he carries the puck with tremendous confidence, and now we're going to get an ill-advised penalty here. No sooner had the Ducks taken the draw, we get a whistle. Terry Gregson indicates hooking will be the call. The door swings open in the Anaheim direction.
Well, it was Gary Volk in behind the Calgary net. He got the stick into the midsection of Trent Yanni. Very ill-advised penalty by Gary Volk. You see Yanni's trying to clear the zone, and Volk, who's trying to put some pressure on him. Again, it's the type of penalty that you hate to see your guys take, because if they keep their feet moving and move right in and put a hit on that guy, it'll apply the same amount of pressure.
So for the second time tonight, Brian, we'll skate for a side. At once, the next minute 25 ticks off the clock, and it'll be an abbreviated 35-second man advantage for the Calgary Flames. Theo Fleury steps up over the blue line. 1-on-3 on the short end. Takes the shot and on goal. What a terrific effort by Fleury in a situation where he clearly had the short hand. Here's a blast from Fleury and on goal. It's sticked aside by Guy Hebert. Comes the rest in the far corner. David Williams finds a wide open Corkum. He'll spring Sacco. Sacco has a trailer in Dulles. Here it comes, the shot, and on goal save. Rebound cleared aside by Phil Housley as he rubbed Joe Sacco off the loose puck. Housley on the follow-up. Brought in over the line. Housley looking, dealing a shot that caught the left ankle of Bobby Dulles. The Ducks will play it back out of the neutral zone. We're going to get a whistle and a stoppage in play. Terry Gregson pointing in the direction of somebody. I believe stick above the shoulder is going to be the call.
Well, yeah, it was actually Phil Housley knocked down that loose puck with the stick above the shoulders. As a result, Gregson blows a whistle.
Mighty Ducks hockey is being brought to you in part by your Southern California Chevrolet and Geo dealers. Come see the all-new lineup of cars, trucks, and vans today. By Old Spice High Endurance for long-lasting odor protection. Demand proof. Get Old Spice. Back at the blue line, Karpa. Man in hot pursuit, deals right side, Duras. Out to center ice, Ruchin. Drop pass to Robert Dirk. He'll shovel a pass in deep. Len Esau comes back to get it out of the corner. Players in the trenches. Puck squirts free. Coming straight ahead, Zalewski has Nieuwendyk in motion on the left side. There's the pass. Nieuwendyk chops it in on goal, and Guy Hebert will smother as Germont Titov takes a two-handed swat at Robert Dirk.
We talked about the soft hands of Joe Nieuwendyk as well. He knocks down an aerial pass. Watch as Joe Nieuwendyk is going to break down the left side of your screen. Now Zarli Zalewski is the puck carrier, and watch the aerial pass. It's not a terrific pass, but Nieuwendyk still manages to get a stick on it and knock it down. You know, Nieuwendyk was a guy, he credits that ability that he has to his youth, the time that he spent as a pretty terrific lacrosse player back home in Peterborough, Ontario. Said that I get a lot of my goals off deflections. I credit that to my lacrosse background.
Pretty fair hockey player, too.
He sure is.
Len Esau centers out front. Karpa read it. Played it back to the red line. Forces Zalewski to his own blue. And now Karpa will make the wise choice. Dump it in deep. Peel to the bench. Now it's power play hockey for the Calgary Flames for the next 30 seconds and ticking. 5-on-4. End over end follow-up. Zalewski out of the corner. Swipes a pass to the back wall. Looks for room out front. Deep slot Esau. Touch pass down low. Nieuwendyk. Esau's in the deep slot, takes the return feed. Met by Sean Van Allen. Chops a shot on goal. Save on Nieuwendyk. Rebound. Nieuwendyk rejected to an open corner. Guillermo Titov comes away with a loose puck. 7 seconds on the man advantage. Here it comes. A one-time shot just off the mark by Zarley Zalapski. And Sean Van Allen will loft it high in the air. Comes to rest inside the blue line. Teams are back at full strength.
And a brilliant sequence there by Guy Hebert, because Nieuwendyk was all alone off the edge of the goal crease and had 2 or 3 whacks at the rebound.
Outlet pass, Grimson steps up over the line on an odd shot. He was on the wrong foot when he got off that shot, and it caught Trevor Kidd a bit off guard. Grimson got off a quality opportunity. Ducks on top.
Opportunity down the left side, an off-balance shot. Awkwardly played by the goalkeeper. It actually hits him in the mask and then gets caught up in the throat area of the shoulder pads. You don't often see the goaltenders corral the rebound that way.
Sandy McCarthy's follow-up along the right wing. Played out to center ice. Todd Ewan can't collect the puck. Carnback does. Wide open, Milos Holan. He'll chop it in deep as Kidd comes out to play it. 28 shots apiece in the hockey game. Ducks a bit more accurate. 5-0 on the night. Anaheim on top. At the blue line, Carnback shimmies around Kevin Dahl in the neutral zone. Tries to play it ahead to the blue line. Intercepted by Dahl. Counterattacking. He'll give it up to Ferner. As Ferner collects the puck inside the blue line of Anaheim. Cross-ice feed to Holan. Ferner outlets to LeBeau. Fresh off the bench. LeBeau drifts to the right wing. Tries to move to the outside at Bill Housley. He'll bump in the far corner. Now LeBeau tries to kick it free to Sean Van Allen, who enters the fray, and the Flames take over along the right wing. Sheldon Kennedy grabbed from behind by Steph LeBeau. I'll tell you, Kennedy likes to flail those hands when he's loose in the corner, and we're going to get a penalty coming up here, Brian. Paul Correa went down in a heap. You can see it's going to be a high sticking call, and the Flames are going to get the gate.
Well, I think that Terry Gregson could have called one of several penalties against Sheldon Kennedy. He's just running around there right now with really no purpose, but he gets the stick up right into the face region of Stefan LeBeau. There's no need for that whatsoever, and Terry Gregson is only standing 10 feet away from him. I don't understand how Kennedy could even think that he would get away with that.
5-0 affair. Ducks on the power play again tonight as we get set for the draw. To the left of goaltender Trevor Kidd. 0 for 4 thus far, just 1 shot on goal. Dallas and Williams back at the point. Up front you'll have Correa, Van Allen, and Stefan LeBeau. Mike Civic hovers over top as Joe Otto and Van Allen get set for the draw. Now a little bit of strategy discussed between Chason and Housley, as once again players drift back into position. Somebody please drop the puck. There it is. Top of the circle, stepping up David Williams. Out of the corner, Williams steps around Housley. Williams still looking, dishes one out front, chopped out of the air by Chason. Gloved in the deep slot area by Van Allen. He'll spring Correa. Correa can't find the handle. Ducks regroup in the neutral zone. Minute 40 to go on the man advantage. Paul Correa with Mike Sullivan in hot pursuit has to jam on the brakes. Comes away with the puck, deals to David Williams. He'll drift to the middle of the ice. Steps up over the red line. Williams takes it inside the blue. Gives it up to Kidd on the exchange to Housley as a wide open avenue. Good hand-eye coordination by Bobby Dulles to cherry pick that one out of the air. Right side feed, LeBeau. Drops it off Van Allen. LeBeau looking for a cutter out front. There's the pass in the deep slot, and here it comes. No, Poland will take the shot and step right on. Betts. Rebound collected by the Flames. They'll give it up to LeBeau. In the deep slot, Dallas cranks a shot over top of the crossbar. Caroms to LeBeau. Left point, Holan. Far side, Dallas. Pass through the legs of Correa. Inside, 50 seconds to go. Man advantage, Dallas again. Fakes as though he's going to shoot. Peels back and delivers to Correa on the wing. No movement up front as Correa fires a shot in on goal. It's sticked aside by Trevor Kidd. Now LeBeau and Van Allen collapse on a loose puck as Holan deals to Dallas in the deep slot. Mike Sullivan's second effort will spring Dahl short-handed. Kevin Dahl is met there by Bobby Dulles, and Dulles blows out of tires. He tries to carver Dahl in deep. He shoots it in on goal, and Hebert will leave it side of the net for the Mighty Ducks, Gary Volk. Volk, left side feed, Corkum. Back to Sacco, he'll shoot it in deep. Trevor Kidd out to play. It has a wide open avenue. Dropped to the ice by Holland. Good hold. As Sacco fires a shot just off the mark. Good hold at the left point by Dirk. Penalties about to expire. Teams are back at full strength. To the line again. Dirk tees one and out goal. It's sticked aside by Kidd. And the rebound is hauled off the far boards by Frank Musil. Sheldon Kennedy, fresh out of the penalty box. Takes a stiff check from Milos Holland. Now gets stood up along the backboard. Flames take over. Top of the circle. Zalapski runs out of real estate. Here's Fleury. Tries to chip the pass that hits the side of the net. And Terry Gregson goes to the whistle. We're going to stop at your play. There's 8:58 to go in the game. And the Ducks lead 5-0. You're watching the NHL on Prime Sports. So stay with us. Well, I can tell you one thing. He's barking to a much smaller audience right now. Plenty of fans have made their way to the exits. Confidence that their Flames are about to fall to the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, who lead in this hockey game 5-0. Cutting back to get it. Zalapski touches. We'll get an icing call here against the Mighty Ducks.
And every time that the Mighty Ducks do get that puck in around their blue line area, you can hear Ron Wilson screaming from the bench, get the puck deep. Get the puck deep. He wants to drill that into the minds of his players that they've got to start working on that clock, get over center ice, dump it in, get themselves into that trapping defensive system that they've been working on for the last 2 days in Banff.
Left to right behind the bench, you saw John Alloway as well as head coach Ron Wilson and assistant Al Sims as a fluttering slap shot gets hauled down between the rings. Given up in the deep slot, Zalapski keeps the play alive. In the corner, Sandy McCarthy tries to catch up to the loose puck, and just off the side of the net, Robert Reichel tripped up Mark Ferner, and again, the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim are going to shift to the power play.
Well, right out in front of the goal, Robert Reichel is trying to run a little interference so that McCarthy can get to that loose puck. He just gets a little bit overzealous, and he trips up Mark Ferner, and Reichel heads to the box. Another power play opportunity for the Ducks. This works out extremely well for Ron Wilson because it allows him the opportunity to get Milos Holland out on the ice and really get a sense of what he can do on the power play. And it's a perfect situation for Holland because with a 5-goal lead, there's really not any amount of pressure on him.
Duras, Ruchin, and Karpov up front. Milos Holland and David Williams back. 4-man penalty killing unit is Joel Otto and Nieuwendyk up top for the Calgary Flames. Back you'll find Zalapski and Len Isau. In over the line, Ruchin flutters a pass to Duras. Drifts to the backboards, looking for help from Ruchin. It's swept aside by Joel Nieuwendyk. Good pinch and hold by David Williams, who's turned in a strong performance here tonight. Tried the power move to the inside. Swipe pass in the base of the circle. Now drifting to the hash marks. Karpov to Ruchin. Far side. Holland's wrist shot just off the mark. Trying to redirect was Duras out front. Williams steers a pass down low to Karpov. Spins away from Zalapski. Now he's running to the backboards as Ruchin centers out front. Duras pulls it to the forehand. Here it comes, the one-time shot. Right pillow pad save. Again, Duras flutters a shot just off the mark. And cutting up from his left point was David Williams to keep the play alive. 1 minute to go on the man advantage. Nobody home left point. Milos Holland cuts over, trying to pick up the loose puck. Beaten there by Joel Otto. He'll shoot it up ice, and Aber exchanges to Holland back of his own net.
You know, Tim Army talked about the cardiovascular benefits of training in Banff at the higher altitudes. And the Ducks do seem to have a lot more jump in their step in tonight's game.
You see Guy Aber trying to exchange to Todd Ewan, who gets stood up by Mike Sullivan from behind. Big battle going on back of the net between Titov and Ewan. And Milos Holland deals to the right side. A helmetless Todd Ewan is met by Musil. Brought in over the line. Ewan carries out of the corner. Feeds Grimson side of the net, who centers out front. Picked off by the back-jetting Germán Titov. And Titov will just tee at the length of the ice. Time for one last power play rush for the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Karpa, right side feed, Karmbach. Drop pass, Karpa, far boards. Dallas will leave it for Karmbach. Good read by Kevin Dahl deep inside the blue line. Short-handed. He'll peel back in the net where he takes a bump from Dallas. Penalty is over. Teams are back at full strength. 3-on-3 situation as Korea can't control the left wing pass. On the wing, Reichel headmans the puck to Kevin Dahl. Steps up with the blue line, met by LeBeau and Mark Ferner. Ferner spins away from the oncoming Vesa Vidakovsky. And here comes LeBeau to Korea, 2-on-2. Korea at the blue line. Drop pass LeBeau. LeBeau steps around the defense. Power move to the inside. Saved by Trevor Kidd. Rebound base of the circle. Played outside the zone. 6 minutes, 5 seconds to go in regulation as the Ducks shoot it in deep.
LeBeau and Correa just have to have this second sense about where one another are going to go on the ice, and they make nice little passes.
Shot in deep by the Flames. Collapsing on the puck, Reichel fails to catch up to it as Joe Sacco has trouble getting back on his skates along the far wing board. Balk intercepts. Here comes Corkum. Met at the blue line by Zarley Zalapski. He gets stood up about 10 feet inside the zone. Flames take over, play it ahead. Bobby Dulles intercepts. At the blue line of Calgary, Len Esau glances up at the clock. There's 5:25 and ticking in regulation time. Ducks 5, Flames nothing. Outlet near side, intercepted by Robert Dirk. Played back inside the blue line of Calgary. And as soon as Zalapski touches, we're going to get a whistle and an icing call against the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. 5:12 to go in the game.
Well, it's garbage time right now for the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. The only thing that really remains in doubt is whether or not they will be able to protect the shutout of goaltender Guy Hebert. You see Carper going back and giving Guy a whack on the pads. It's kind of a unwritten rule in hockey that nobody mentions the shutout to the goalkeeper. Terrible luck, of course.
Face off to the left of Hebert. Ruchin on the draw against Theo Fleury. Fans in a hurry to make their way to the exits as the Saddle Dome is clearing out quickly. 15,195 on hand here this evening when the game started. Peter Duras on the right side tries to step around Frankie Musil. Yawning out of the corner. On the wing, Kevin Dahl, who has logged a lot of ice time here in the third period, looks on as Musil takes over on the left side. Fleury to Dahl. Follow-up, Vesa Vidakovsky slow in getting to the loose puck. The Flames' Phil Housley climbs over the boards and takes over inside his own blue line.
And the Ducks are just falling back into that trap right now and clogging up the neutral zone. It's pretty tough sledding out there for the Calgary forwards.
Mike Sullivan, base of the circle, runs out of real estate as Milos Holland takes the body. Patrick Karnback tries to pick up the loose puck out of the corner and does. Failing to hold the left point, though, was Steve Chason, and Chason deals to the blue line of Anaheim. Germán Titov met by Mark Berner in the open ice. Flames again regroup at the red. Long shot in on goal. Hebert confidently whacks it to an open corner right through the crease. Nieuwendyk slow to get in position. Nieuwendyk cycles back to the puck. Left point, wrist shot, just tipped wide of the net. As a couple of Calgary Flames, including Mike Sullivan, were drifting between the rings. Back inside the blue line of Calgary. 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the game. Chopped in end over end. Hebert will glove and hold with Paul Cruz crashing the net along with Robert Reichel. The Mighty Ducks lead 5-0 on Prime Sports.
Well, with just over 3.5 minutes left in this hockey game, Guy Hebert will be keeping a close eye on that clock. Very aware of the situation, and he's looking for another shutout. Hebert, of course, has been under a lot of pressure at times this season, so it's awfully nice for the goalkeeper to play in a game with a nice big cushion as you cruise down that third period.
Reichel's slap shot caught the ankle of David Williams as Hebert plays it to an open wing. Here comes Stéphane Lebeau along with Correa on the right side and Van Allen on the left. Paul Correa posts up inside the zone, fires a pass through the slot area. Lebeau is taken off the puck, and counter-punching come the Calgary Flames. Zarley Zalapski triple teamed at the blue line, carries it deep inside the zone. Paul Cruz gets bumped off the puck. Paul Correa takes over on the wing, deals to Stéphane Lebeau, and he'll just play it up ice end over end.
And terrific work in the defensive zone again by Bobby Dulles. He actually took 2 Flames players and out-battled them, was able to knock the puck up the half board.
Shot in deep right into the glove of goaltender Guy Hebert. He'll hold with Joe Nieuwendyk and company on the doorstep. There's 2 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the hockey game. Ducks lead at 5-0. If you're just joining us, you missed the fireworks back in the first period. Paul Correa back-to-back, his 9th and 10th of the year, spotted the Mighty Ducks at 2-0 advantage, and then 3 more unanswered goals in the second period. Steve Ruchin is 2nd and 3rd in the NHL, sandwiched in between. David Williams potted his 2nd of the year. That's where we sit, 5-0 Anaheim. Dirk out of the corner. Swipes a backhand pass to Gary Balk. Churning back to get it. Frank Musil has Bob Corkum. And Joe Sacco trying to force the issue inside the blue line. Go give it up on an errant pass that's touched by Robert Dirk. And we'll get an icing call here against the Calgary Flames. 2:22 left on the clock.
Joe Sacco, he showed signs tonight, Chris, of using that blazing speed of his, effectively blasting down the wing and letting that shot go in full stride. You know, the shot becomes so much more dangerous when the player is skating at top speed, because it's very difficult for the goaltender to pick up exactly where the release point of the shot is going to be, and he could be off the angle just a hair. And Joe Sacco, he has that tremendous speed. He has to use it to his advantage.
Face off to the left of Trevor Kidd. 33 shots on goal for the Mighty Ducks, 29 for the Calgary Flames. Once again, Mike Civic very deliberate before he drops the disc, and there's a wrist shot off the draw by Sacco that sails high and wide of the net. Karen played by Trent Yawney, base of the circle. Far side, Musil. Bank pass in the neutral zone. Vesa Vidikoski ridden off the puck. Robert Dirk flutters a pass in the direction of Gary Vaughan. Back inside the blue line. Ducks drifting back into the neutral zone, waiting for the Flames to bring the play to them. There's the pass on the wing, quickly collapsing on him. David Karpa forces Frankie Musil to give it up at the blue line, and Robert Dirk will take over and throw it right back into the neutral zone. 1:45 to go in the hockey game. Left wing feed, Germont Titov tries to drift to the deep slot area. Neuendijk overskated the puck. There was Steve Ruchin to chop it high in the air, so we will lose a puck and gain a faceoff with 1:34 remaining in the hockey game.
And you know, you really have to give a lot of credit to the Mighty Ducks coaching staff. First of all, the penalty killing unit was successful tonight. They completely shut down the Flames on the power play. That's Al Sims' responsibility. I told you they spent a lot of time looking at videotape in the last couple of days. Remember also that there have not been that many opportunities during this regular season for the coaches to really get a hold of their teams for 2 or 3 days at a time and try and work out problems. The nature of this shortened season is such that you play a game just about every second day. There's no time to work on the things that every team needs to be working on.
Theo Fleury tosses the puck out front. The Mighty Ducks are able to clear it past the blue line, and Germont Titov deals to the far side, Steve Chason. The last time the Ducks recorded a victory against the Calgary Flames, it came right here in a 2-1 triumph. Alexei Kasatonov had the game-winning goal as a long slap shot by Steve Chason sails high and wide of the net. It came all the way back on November 11th of '93. Here comes Karpov. Power move inside, and he connected with the helmet of goaltender Trevor Kidd. Long shot through the screen. Kidd's able to cover, and a terrific move by Valeri Karpov as he was quickly running out of room.
Well, this is an outstanding move by Karpov. Watch the little tuck back inside of Phil Housley. Karpov's playing a little cat and mouse here. He's waiting for Housley to lunge at him. When he does, he just drifts that puck back into the middle, and very quick hand shown by Karpov to redirect the puck. Trevor Kidd, very fortunate there, actually made the save with the helmet.
Face off to the right of Trevor Kidd. Ducks about to return home for a date against the Toronto Maple Leafs Friday night off a victory here in Calgary as Bobby Dallas's bullet is collected by Trevor Kidd with both Todd Ewan and Peter Carnback crashing the net, just waiting for a fat rebound.
And Todd Ewan right now is looking back at Bobby Dallas and he's saying, hey, Bobby, if I'm going to go to the front of the net and screen the goaltender, you got to keep that puck down, because I believe that shot hits Todd Ewan in the back. The players really hate that when they make the effort to drive strong to the front of the net. They want that nice low shot coming in from the goaltender, from the defenseman rather. That's what will generate the rebound opportunities.
On the backboard, Zarley Zalapski. Time expiring on the Calgary Flames in this hockey game. Right wing feed on the fly, Len Esau beat to the puck by Bobby Dulles. Patrick Carnback to Stu Grimson. Here comes Ewan in over the line, but no, they're going to rule that Grimson entered the play before the puck. We're going to get an offside whistle with 17.3 seconds to go. So a very spirited effort turned in here by the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Ducks from here, as I pointed out, return home to take on the Toronto Maple Leafs. And there to await the Mighty Ducks in the return will be a healthy Tom Kerbers. They feared the worst when he went down with a wrist injury in Vancouver a few nights back, but it turned out to be a sprain. Tom will be available for action as the Ducks take on the Maple Leafs at the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim. Left side feed, inside 6 seconds to go in the game. Bouncing puck. Failing to corral it is Bobby Dallas. He'll touch it as time expires, and Brian Hayward, the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, have snapped a 5-game head-to-head losing streak against the Calgary Flames in convincing fashion.
They certainly have, and we've talked a lot this season about the inability of the Mighty Ducks being able to play for the entire 60 minutes. Tonight was a dominant performance from the Mighty Ducks. They played well at both ends of the rink. It all started with solid work in the defensive zone, and the big difference tonight, they were able to capitalize on their opportunities.
So the Mighty Ducks come up with a terrifically balanced effort in taking out the Calgary Flames 5-0 here at the Saddledome. Meanwhile, Alan Massengale is standing by at the press box
To deflect right behind Trevor Kidd.
And the Ducks, with the victory, improved to 7 wins, 16 losses, and 2 ties. It's time for a couple straight at home, beginning with the Toronto Maple Leafs on Friday night. And we remind you, fans, our next game on Prime Sports will be Thursday, March 23rd at 7:30, when the Ducks take on the San Jose Sharks at the arena. The Ducks host the St. Louis Blues this Sunday. Game time on KCAL will be at 5 p.m. And remember, all of the Mighty Ducks games can be heard on KZY 95.9 FM and the Mighty Ducks Radio Network. Tonight's game has been produced and directed by Lisa Seltzer. Associate producers Mark Vittorio and Tim Davis. Remote facilities provided by Molstar Communications. Once again, our final score: the Mighty Ducks 5 and the Calgary Flames 0. For Brian Hayward, this is Chris Matson. Talk to you Sunday. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Tonight's Mighty by cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft, making the world a very cool place. By Alamo, there are over 4 million miles of roads in Alamo territory, and with Alamo, all those miles are free. By Great Western's family of companies, over $42 billion strong. Great Western will always be there. By your Southern California Lexus dealer, who invite you to test drive a Lexus today. By Coors Light, naturally brewed, reach for the silver bullet, the pure taste of the Rockies. And by your local Honda dealer. Find out why Honda is #1 in owner loyalty 4 years in a row.